The Orioles embarrassed the Yankees in the Bronx, like actually embarrassed them. I'm not being dramatic. Nick Senzel of the Reds, he literally morphed into Superman, saving the Reds both with the glove and his bat. Chas McCormick, he unplugged his brain for a second. He channeled his inner A-Rod by slapping at a first baseman. And this next sentence is enough to make a grown man cry. Prime Christian Yelich and Cody Bellinger, they might be back. All of that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game almost every single day. And a reminder, if you're going to the All-Star game or any baseball games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off. All right, so we have a doubleheader between the Blue Jays and the White Sox, and game number one of the doubleheader, Springer, he was out there doing Springer things. He laid all the way out in the third, robbing Chicago of a base hit. He helped out Jose Barrios, who actually didn't really need much help after that, and neither did Lance Lynn. I can't remember the last time I saw two guys in one game throw 7 shutout innings, only allowing 1 base hit each. Jose Barrios, he punched out 6 over those 7 one-hit innings, and Lance Lynn, he went off again. 7 innings, 1 hit. He struck out 11 Blue Jays. He has an impressive 11.1 strikeouts per 9, but an awful 6.03 ERA on the season. By the way, Alek Manoah, he also has a 6 ERA. He's coming back today. Now, neither starting pitcher in this one is going to get the W. This one went to extras. Springer, he helped out with the stick this time, knocking in the game's first run, and that started an onslaught of scoring. Bo Bichette, Dalton Varsho, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., they all knocked in one on some singles, and Cavan Biggio, he really sealed it with a 2-run double. Cavan is hitting 203 over his last 152 games, and he's not taking any walks. Hopefully that right there gets him going. So the Jays win game number 1 in the 11th, which sucks because there was a whole other game to play. Whit Merrifield, he's trying to prove that he should be an all-star. He shouldn't, but hey, you know what? That's a cool home run. Chicago, they went up a few after Eloy sent a 2-run home run out. He's hitting 285 with 28 home runs and a 131 OPS plus over his last 140 games dating back to last year. He's a monster when healthy. Matt Chapman, who leads Major League Baseball in doubles, he belted his 12th home run right before Vladdy tied things up at 3 runs apiece. Vladdy Jr., he's hitting 298 with a 1004 OPS over his last 12 games. Chicago, they went up again, and Whit Merrifield homered again. He really took all of those fake all-star comments seriously. Nate Pearson, he was tasked with getting the final 4 outs of the game, and after doing so, he earned his first ever save. I thought that he was going to be an amazing starting pitcher, but he's actually been pretty decent out the pen. Toronto, they won 3 games in a row as they sweep the doubleheader. The Blue Jays can actually be tied with the Yankees for the final spot in the AL wildcard if Baltimore, I don't know why I'm trying to hide it. We already know what happened. I hinted at it in the intro. Yeah, the Orioles absolutely bodied the Yankees at home with Gunnar Henderson leading the way. Gunnar, he had an Oppo Taco in the first inning. He just turned 22 years old a few weeks ago. That was his first of 2 home runs. 3 doubles from Baltimore put them up by 4. One of them came from rookie Jordan Westberg, who looks legit so far, so Jorge Mateo, in my opinion, yeah, his time in Baltimore is done. 4 singles from Gunnar, Ali, O'Hearn, and Urias made it 9 runs. 9 runs before the 4th was even done, and make it a 12 spot for Baltimore. Of course, it was Gunnar Henderson who did it. That 420-foot moonshot gives him 6 home runs and 18 RBIs and a 150 OPS plus over his last 22 games. Now, we can't forget about Kyle Bradish. This dude has been one of my favorite starting pitchers in baseball since his debut last season. He had 5 strikeouts over 6 shutout. He has a 2.5 ERA and a 2.8 FIP since May 28th. He has been insane. The Yankees gave up 14 runs on 20 base hits. They made mental error after mental error defensively. That was a horrible game. Now, luckily for them, Carlos Rodon, he makes his season debut today, and good thing too, because Luis Severino, he has a 7.5 ERA, and he's given up 7 runs in back-to-back starts. From one New York team to another, the Mets are firing on all cylinders. Don't worry, I am knocking on all of the wood. No, but seriously, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, and the Mets, they're actually playing some really good baseball lately. Lindor, he tripled to start the first, and Pete Alonso, he's looking prime for another huge home run derby. Deja vu happened in the third because Lindor had his second triple. It's very rare that you see 2 triples in a game, let alone before the 4th inning. Pete Alonso yet again knocked home Francisco Lindor. That one was on a single. Vogelback and McNeil, they both added insult to injury. They each swatted some RBI doubles. And oh my, this kid is really doing it. Francisco Alvarez, they call him the Troll. He has a home run in 3 straight games. He has 16 home runs in just 63 games. The rookie catching record is 19 home runs, so Francisco is going to destroy that. And the record for a 21-year-old catcher is 21 home runs. That was set by Johnny Bench in 1969. a pretty nice name to pass if you do actually pass him. Lindor, he led the way though, going 5 for 5. That home run went 440 feet. He's hitting .330 with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs since he and his wife welcomed their second child. That is dad strength. Now, I do want to show this clip from the 7th inning because Corbin Carroll, he hurt the same shoulder that he had surgery on back in, I think, 2021. Prayers up for him. They said that they got good news, but I'm going to feel terrible if he can't play because Corbin is from Seattle and he's going to be starting in the All-Star game. Shout out to Carlos Carrasco. Cookie, he went 8 shutout, only allowed 3 base hits. The Mets have won 5 in a row. The Diamondbacks have lost 4 in a row. We'll show the cheap and dirty play from Chas McCormick in just a second, but I got to talk about the Dodgers real quick. LA, they can get within a half game of the Diamondbacks. All they got to do is beat the Pirates, and that's a great start. Freddie Freeman, he's hitting .320 on the season with 15 home runs, 57 RBIs, and 12 stolen bases. Hello? Rookie Nick Gonzalez, he clutched up in the next frame to tie it at 2. By the way, Nick Gonzalez has 7 extra base hits, 11 RBIs in his first 42 at-bats. That's crazy. Now, the score stayed that way for a while as Julio Urias was finally good. He had 8 punchies over 6 innings. Max Muncy, he then delivered with a long home run. He scores Freddie Freeman, and then Freddie, he grabbed his 3rd RBI in the 7th inning. Alex Vesia, he was sent down because he was terrible. He was called back up, and that's got to be huge for his confidence. He gets his first save of the year. The Dodgers, like I mentioned, they're just a half game back of first place now. So the Chas McCormick dirty play happened later in the game, but real quick, I got to show off the new and improved Mariners. Even though nothing's really changed, they're just finally hitting baseballs hard again. Eugenio Suarez, that's a 2-run home run. There's a solo shot to JP Crawford. George Kirby only allowed 1 run the entire day, so he kept the Mariners out in front. Now we're going to skip to the 9th where Gino, he hit his 2nd of the game. He's hitting .302 with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs over the last 2 weeks. JP Crawford, he made one of the most insane plays I've seen this year, but in the process of robbing Chas McCormick, Chas, he went full-blown A-Rod on Ty France. He swatted at the glove, which is beyond stupid. At first I thought, okay, maybe it was an accident, maybe he tripped. No, that looked completely intentional, and apparently the manager of the Astros, Dusty Baker, does not like Chas McCormick. So is Chas going to get traded? He might, because the Astros, they're trying to rebuild their image. They're not trying to have that on their ball club. The Mariners are gaining some ground lately, and that trend continued as Boston absolutely dismantled the Rangers in Boston. Rafael Devers roped an RBI double. He is 19 on the season. Now, Texas did respond with a big 4th and 5th inning. They were up 5-3 after doubles from Josh Young and Jonah Heim. But the rallying Red Sox with Rob Reschneider, that was a lot of alliteration, my God. He singled in Hernandez. And this next clip, if you are not watching, watch this real quick. One of the most impressive base running reads I've ever seen. Hernandez hit a blooper, and 2 ended up scoring because Duvall read that ball so well. He actually scored from second on a single to left field. That was the first of 5 RBI singles in the 7th inning for the Boston Red Sox. They put up a fat 10 spot on Texas's head. Texas, they're going through it. Now, they did get a home run from Corey Seager. He's hitting .360 with 11 home runs and a 182 OPS plus, but the Rangers, they've lost 2 in a row, and they're way under 500 over their last 30 games. They get beat 10-5. Just like the Padres and the Mets, the Phillies have been playing way better baseball as of late, and just like the Mets, they were facing a first-place team. Christopher Sanchez, who I just found out existed, he held the Rays scoreless over 4 innings. Long ball Derek Hall, he sent one out in the 5th inning to give Sanchez a lead. Just unfortunately, Isaac Paredes, he absolutely rakes. He ruined Sanchez's shutout. Now, it still blows my mind that the Rays even got him in a trade. I won't talk about that. I'm sorry, Tigers fans. But luckily, the Tigers put up 9 runs in yesterday's game, so we'll get to that in a second. Christopher Sanchez ended up getting through 6 innings, but this one was going to need free baseball. We go to extras. Alec Boehm, he ended the 9th with a nice barehanded play. Now, skipping to the 11th, Kyle Schwarber, he singled in the go-ahead, and Trey Turner, he then added to it. Matt Strom, he finished off Tampa Bay to get the W, and I cannot believe I'm saying, well, I can because the Phillies are really good, but the Phillies just swept the Tampa Bay Rays. They won 4 in a row. They are 8 games over 500. They are locked in. Now, before we talk about Elly De La Cruz and the Reds being one of the best teams in baseball since his debut, I have to show this Cubs and Brewers game because Bellinger, he doubled in the game's first run, and after the Brewers tied it, Christian Yelich went the other way for a 3-run home run. He is hitting .290 with 11 home runs, 21 stolen bases, and a stupid 130 OPS plus. He also has 3 outs above average, which is second defensively for any left fielder in baseball. And guys, this is going to get emotional. Bellinger went yard as well. After the 2018 MVP Christian Yelich went yard, the 2019 MVP Cody Bellinger nearly matched him with a 2-run home run. Belly has a 126 OPS plus. Yelich has a 130 OPS plus. It's so cool to see them both being elite again. Cody, he went 4 for 4 and got on for Yan Gomes, who belted a 2-run home run to tie it at 5. but that's the game right there. Victor Caratini, his solo home run put the Brewers up by 1, and the Brewers, they get a huge W because the Cincinnati Reds, they just can't lose. Ellie stepped in with his team down by 1 in the 6th inning, and he tied it on a double to left field. Another multi-hit game for Ellie, who is now hitting .325 with 15 extra base hits and 12 stolen bases in his first 114 at-bats. Rookie Alex Call, he put the Nationals up 1 again and entered Joey Votto. Joey Votto, he keeps adding to that Hall of Fame resume. He ties it on an RBI single. By the way, he's 3 home runs away from 350 for his career. Anyways, CJ Abrams, he's going to walk it off. Oh wait, no, he's not, because Nick Senzel kind of channeled his inner Odell Beckham by making a grab kind of behind his head. That was a sick grab. Now, not only did he save it, but he won it as well. In the very next frame, Senzel blasted off for a 2-run home run. He has 5 RBIs in his last 2 games. Alexis Diaz, he had no issues in the 10th. He has 25 saves, 25 consecutive saves in a row. The Reds have won 5 in a row. The Reds are 21-6 since they called up Ellie De La Cruz. They're so good. The Tigers put a hurting on the A's in this one. Javier Baez has been absolutely terrible this year, and I say that because that 2-run single gives him a 66 OPS plus. He has an 82 OPS plus since joining the Tigers. Kerry Carpenter, he brought home another run, and after Jake Marisnick had a double, Matt Vierling, he had an RBI single. It's now 6-0 Tigers. Zach Short, he made sure that Oakland could not get any momentum going. He robbed them of a base hit with a nice leaping grab in the 6th inning. Marisnick, he sent that one very far, but his playing time is about to be 0 with the return of Baddoo and then also Riley Green. He's almost healthy. I'm telling you guys right now, if Akil Baddoo and Riley Green play like they were before they got injured and Scooball and Erod shred in the second half, watch out for the Tigers. And because of that, Cleveland is going to have to stack as many free wins as possible. Kansas City, it's about as free of a win as you can possibly get. Now, I'm probably going to jinx it, but whatever. Andres Gimenez, he hit his 2nd home run of the last week. He's hitting .311 with 6 stolen bases over the last 2 weeks. Rookie Tanner Bybee, he got into some trouble in the 4th, but Gold Glover Miles Straw, this is why he's always playing. He saved him with a sliding grab to end that inning. J Ram, he is cementing himself as the best third baseman in baseball. He's hitting .290 with 40 extra base hits, 53 RBIs, a 143 OPS plus, 9 stolen bases, and he leads all of third basemen in F-WAR by far. He has a 3.3 F-WAR. Josh Naylor, he made it back-to-back home runs. He's basically hitting .300 with 30 extra base hits, 61 RBIs. He is making it easy to forget that the Cleveland Guardians once upon a time traded Yandy Diaz, who was starting the All-Star game. J Ram, he showed off the defense in the 9th, and Cleveland, they win easy 6-1. The Royals are now 25-63. Here we go. The Cardinals took on the Marlins in Miami, and Yuri Perez as well as Jack Flaherty, they were matching each other pitch for pitch. Each dude, they went 5 shutout to start this one. Yuri, he turned 20 in April. He has no fear at all. Jack Flaherty, on the other hand, has been cooked all year long. Like, not cooking as in he's been really good. He's been cooked. But he was finally able to lock in for once, and Nolan Arenado rewarded him with a lead. One day after ripping 3 doubles in one game, Nolan teed off for his 17th home run. He's been good offensively, but kind of bad defensively. It's kind of been a weird Nolan Arenado season. Yuri, he went through 6. He has a dazzling 2.3 ERA on the season. Jack, he almost went 7 shutout. Shout out to him for really showing up in this game. Base hits from Burleson and Gorman made it 3-zip for Jordan Hicks, who did not implode. He now has 6 saves on the season as the Cardinals beat the really good Marlins 3-0. They shut them out. As we end today's recap, I'm going to go ahead and show these standings across the game of baseball. Again, let me know in the comments, what do you make of all the games from yesterday? Do you think that Chas McCormick is a dirty player? Are the Astros going to trade him because Dusty Baker does not actually like Chas as a person, or as a, I don't know what exactly the beef that they have, but a lot of people were telling me that on Twitter. You guys can see in the National League, things are getting spicy in the NL West. So a lot to talk about today, a lot to go over. Thank you guys for watching until the end if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one.